Welcome to Power User with Crash Long Johns. That's me. Well, we got another exciting series for you to take a look at and glean from. This video series is going to be a CAT2 MS Forms SharePoint list to automate combo. So what we're taking place is when you create an MS form and somebody submits their form submission, you're able to then take the automate and have the automate do the work and actually grab that information and write it to a SharePoint list. We're going to break this up in bite-sized chunks with 4 videos, which will also talk about how to deal with if it's a group form. And with that, today's video, we're just going to look at doing the MS form to automate and get it created to a SharePoint list. With that said, let's get started and jump over the computer. Now that we're at the computer, we're going to get started in how to set up, again, our quick Power Automate, so that way we can capture information from our MS form and tie that and write it to a SharePoint list that has been created. Now, I'm not going to go into how to create an MS form or how to create the SharePoint list through the rest of the novice series over MS forms, and SharePoint should have a grasp on how to do that. But what we're going to do is, and I'm going to remind that, at the Office Home portal, basically you can get to the particular apps. It used to be we would say like, hey, at the bottom, click the all apps, but that's not all in there. So to get to Power Automate, MS Forms, Teams, you click the little 6-box dots, and then you can get SharePoint, Power Automate, Power Apps that way. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a MS form here that I've already created. This is our outdoor activity surveyor form. And what we got is what's your most recent outdoor activity. It's a choice, single choice, and allows other, and then add a photo of your recent activity adventure. We went ahead and have a MS form created, which we got our recent activity, which if we look at it, it's a choice field. Put in some choices of the main ones. Needed to include to deal with other, so make sure you do have an other checkbox that you can add values manually. And then we just have our attachments, which if you don't see attachments, reminder, if you go into show hide columns, you're able then to check mark attachments and apply. So there's our SharePoint list. So let's dive into the Power Automate that's going to take care of this magic. Now our Power Automate, it is basically an automated automate. So, again, we got that going on. Our trigger is going to be when a new response is submitted, and it's going to be for an MS form. So we got our trigger. We're going to pick our form ID. So in this case, we're going to pick our form ID, which is the outdoor activity form. And then we're going to go ahead and then do a new step. Our new step is going to be get response. And we're looking for the actual MS form get response details. Action. We're going to pick our form again to get the form ID, which is our outdoor activity. Our response ID is the response ID when a new response is submitted for MS forms. And then we're going to go and do a create item. We're going to create our item, which is going to be a SharePoint create item action. We're going to pick our site address. In this case, it's going to be my Crash Long Johns. And the list name, which is going to be our MS form to SharePoint combo. Right now, we have when a new response is submitted. So I submitted a new response to the MS form. It's getting those response details. And now we're going to create the item to the SharePoint list. So we have our site address, we've got our list name. Well, for our title, what we're doing is we're just plugging and chugging the corresponding questions that are in our MS form to tie that to the SharePoint list item. So in this case, for title, I'm going to basically utilize that for what was the most recent outdoor activity, which we don't want that one. So for title, I'm going to go ahead and say, hey, I want to get the responder's email. So in this case, we might need that so that we just kind of know who was actually the one responding. So at least we can get some information for who posted it. And then for our recent activity value, in this case, we got bike, hike. Well, we're not going to pick one. We're going to do enter custom value. So with our enter custom value, we've got our recent activity value. Well, that one is what was your most recent outdoor activity where we're making a choice. So we're going to pick that one. So there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and save this for now. And this is going to allow now for it to actually get that information and write to the SharePoint list. So for instance, again, we got our SharePoint list here. We have our automate that's going to write it to the SharePoint list, whatever was submitted, and we got our MS form. So in this case, let's go ahead and just test this. So we're going to go test. We're going to do manual, and we're going to do test. And we're going to go to our MS form. We're going to preview this so we can fill it out. Say bike. We're going to add a photo. Add a photo. And we'll just give it a moment here while it's adding that. All right, that's done. We're going to go ahead and submit that. We're going to go to our automate. We're going to see that it's running. It says that it ran successfully. All right, so we got that. So let's go over here and we're going to refresh. And we got 2 in there, which means I have an automate that's running. So on top of it, so I do have one that's actually working that got the attachment, but that's not the one that we're actually concerned about because it's not the one that actually is the correct one. What took place, it would be this one here, the top one, the most recent. And this is what happens when I did some testing and didn't turn off the other automate that ran. That is properly working. So in this case, right there we go. We have our entry. However, we don't have the attachment. And that's where we're going to get into the next video of how to go ahead and then take care of being able to capture the attachment that was attached in the MS form. If you enjoyed the video, give a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And thank you for stopping by. Until next time, keep learning.